You good?
Yeah? Huh? I'm good.
Okay, have you do
Oh, that's my recording starting.
Oh, okay.
Why
Recording
is
started
Guy
when I get
Lemos in the room?
back. All right. So this takes place when Henderson is still in the hospital
Yes.
and is a Healy boy.
Yes, all burned up.
All hurt, all
All
sad.
roasty toasty. White bread and boasty? I don't know.
Boasty?
I don't know.
Let me double check the date on this for when you were a roasty toasty boy.
I think we decided it was like a month that he was hung up because of his ag. Because it was like a week per ag, and then he had to get rid of all his lethal, and he had 3 ag.
Yep, you got out. The next session was the 21st. The 7th was when you got burned. So it's any time between then.
Yeah.
And so during that time, Hellings comes to visit you or in your room. You declined to take pain medication, correct?
He's taking less. He's not on 0 pain
Less.
medication, but he's trying
Okay,
to.
so he's not full fucking hardballing it.
No.
Okay, big difference.
I don't think it'd be possible to take 0.
He's just like, he's got gritted, he's got like a fucking piece of wood between his teeth. He's like, ah!
Back in my day, we didn't have pain medication. When we got full body burned, we sat there and we liked it. No.
After my full body burn, I walked to school uphill both ways. And you get on the door and it opens, and you see Hellings.
Oh, hi. Hey, you can come in. Come in. I'm not doing anything. Vague hand motion in bed.
Steps in and closes the door behind him. And he looks around, sees the kind of side seat. Motions it. One of us. See?
No, go ahead.
Alright. He does. How are you recovering?
Oh, I mean, amazingly well for how bad the wounds are.
He nods. Don't got yourself much advantage, didn't you?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What?
You said bloody got yourself most of the part, didn't you?
They said it was something around 60%.
Have a record?
Well, for this hospital, probably.
I'll take as much time as you need. Recovery is most important.
Well, it's being useless here is driving me a little insane, so I'm hoping to be back as soon as all the surgeries are done and they tell me I can leave.
If you're in a condition to.
Well, yes, I'm not gonna leave if the doctors say I'm not. Plus, I'm pretty sure my joints would just crack open and bleed if I tried to, run away out into the darkness right now.
Don't think you'd be able to.
Probably not. How is everything back at base?
People celebrating the win. Small victory.
No news on Infinity, though.
No, at the moment. Currently looking at covering up. They stood in fire in a distant farmhouse. Easy enough.
Henderson nods. And Julia and...
Julie's been housed below your house as originally planned. She's down there. Lemons and Arthur are up for deliberation right now, or if they'll be executed for their date.
He gets quiet at that. Finally gone that far, huh?
What do you say?
Finally gone that far, huh?
They betrayed our trust, they betrayed everything we've given them. Most organizations that result immediately into election.
And the...
But we are diplomatic, so it's going to a vote. Between myself, which I am again.
Have you decided how you're going to vote?
I was going to ask your opinion on that, actually.
Henderson goes quiet. Oh no. He doesn't want to have someone's life in his hands.
It's not only your call, it's just you know better than I do. So, it's good to have the input.
I can't say I know Arthur all that well, really.
I've already got my decision about
Lemons. All I know is not just, he has his excuses of he was in danger, he was close to death, whatever, why all this happened, but I've continually tried to set boundaries with him and get him to take the situation seriously. Like, not wanting a cannibal to be with my son or have free access to my house. And he's ignored them almost every time. I don't think that's something that in and of itself is it's worth death. But it's something to consider if you're asking me to trust him again.
I got on missions prior to these betrayal. Really forward.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. It's the accent combined with not having headphones.
Sorry.
What did he say?
He said, and what about a mission prior to his betrayal or whatever you...
Oh, okay. Has Lemon told us that he made the deal on Halloween night, or that when the deal was cut?
I don't think he has.
Okay. Henderson thinks for a moment as he's like, he hasn't ever been particularly, he was always a little bit meaner to me than everyone else personally, but I'm not going to bring that personally into, he has been useful on missions. He helped keep me conscious and moving after Dagmar. And I don't know. I don't like quantifying someone's usefulness.
It's not fun. But it is something that needs to be considered.
I suppose from the boss's perspective. Henderson never saw that it was lemons that got the hook to back off on them, so.
Yeah, no, I thought about it. I'll have to think about what I'm gonna come to for that conclusion.
Henderson.
I think Arthur deserves more of a chance.
Like I said, I can't really. I feel like hasn't really been present for our generation of Guardians.
He's been slipping over time.
Well, I know. I pissed him off pretty much immediately when I got here, so didn't choose to interact much with him.
He's pulled an age, what made him useful is that he was the make. Put up any outbursts or what have you that he did. He was the medic, he was important. But recently, what with his acting out his violence, his transgressions, are beyond forgiveness, and he really doesn't have to spot that it's assured in the group anymore. He's overstayed his welcome.
I don't agree with killing him. I don't really feel like killing anyone as retribution makes much sense, but he did try to kill you, or keep you.
It's more than just retribution. What resources is it going to take to keep him around still, if we keep him? Because we can't have him on active duty, because we can't trust him. If we do have him on active duty, if we did trust him, what else would we do? We've already learned that he's been holding a very bad, very dangerous secret under his ropes for years without getting us. He's jeopardized the entire division, every person in the town, and he did it for himself. He's an individual who has done more harm than he could have possibly done good. And he's still capable of doing that.
I can agree with that, especially with locking him up. But my team did see the prison you guys have in Boston for people like him. It's not like Guardians are alien to the idea of locking someone up. And I would say, information-wise, he has a lot more to offer than Abel did. Of course, he's a lot more blood on his hands, too.
So, Abel's a situation in which he was brought in on a special request of the warden.
What would have happened to him if he wasn't?
They will try to rehabilitate him, but he hadn't done anything that warranted other boys. He was a Boy Scout that caught in a crossfire. Didn't hurt anyone, just was advertised, yeah.
Henderson nods. You said you already made up your mind on Arthur.
He nods. I don't think I can be convinced out of it. I doubt the others are far from right on thinking either.
Henderson goes quiet a moment and is that what you came to talk about? And it's just lemons?
No. I'm going to check up on you, see how you're doing. Just kind of involved in the work talk, I suppose. He gives a small, tired smile.
Well, I'd rather, Carlsville get tended to while I'm safe here than the other way around, so.
We trust these brings you only two. Won't stop. He kind of runs up one of his eyes.
When we first came here, Cardian supposedly didn't know why Carlsville was so dangerous, but we've killed Vane and stopped the wisps. We've sealed off the Fey portal and stopped the hedge beasts. And mimics can't reproduce supposedly without Julia and or Finnegan. What happens if after Infinity's here there's nothing left for Cardians?
We've done our job. Probably. Leave a small amount of people behind to make sure nothing else pops up. Keep an eye on the area for a while, survey. And if nothing comes up, then job done. Read spook, sorry.
Sorry. Rub-a-dub-dub.
It's fucking got stuck in my mouth. Just syllables became a foreign concept for a second there.
Right.
Distribute to all the divisions as needed.
You'd all get reassigned.
Pack
up our bags and move.
Don't know where you'd be assigned, it'd be whichever division's needing someone, and then depending on your expertises, you might be moved based on that or on superior request. It's a little practice.
Why did you come to Carlsville originally from across the ocean? It seems like a long way to come for this. Was it your choice or were you ordered?
No, it wasn't by choice. Between me and you, I was not getting along well with my division. There was a lot of tension, and it got excessive. I got into an altercation that resulted in the other opposing party with a broken nose and a broken arm. And that didn't go over well for me, and so it was decided that it'd be best if I was transferred to somewhere else that would help me focus. It's kind of better.
Someplace quiet.
Someplace quiet, someplace off the map. Try and wave this little mistake off the papers. They've forgotten about it. So, we're transferred to the smallest division we have. That was the goal. I was turned out for an ace of clubs, which I was.
So Mr. Listen to Orders, who gave us that big speech first session, was here because he was hot on his ass.
He kind of smiles at the floor. When he put it like that.
Henderson smiles a little.
I like to think I learned my lesson. At least.
Did you stay out too late your first night here?
Oh yeah. He said I'll quickly learn not to.
Henderson almost asked, "Did you immediately buy a flashlight?" Because some people didn't. But he doesn't.
I used to smoke when I first came here. It was past curfew, and I went out for a smoke. I dropped smoking after that.
Henderson, smiles, and then he gets a little kind of, serious and sad again. Still a little bit of the smile left, but he's like, "Is your kid in cardigans?"
He shakes his head. No. Please. Aisha and I agreed to do everything we could to keep him out of it. He's got a daughter. Can't afford to be in this kind of life. We want him to be able to spend as much time with her as he possibly can.
Hawthorne's talked about joining.
It's probably because he's so young. I hope he doesn't see it as a glory thing. Because he's smart.
Remind me, is it Hellings Jr.? Right? Or...
Arthur Hellings Jr., yep.
Okay. How old was Junior when you got involved in all this? Or was it always...
He wasn't born yet.
How long have you been a guardian?
I've been part of it for a while. Over 12 years.
Quizzing the GM.
Quizzing the GM. If I give you a date, it's going to like me. End of section. But neither. She's not born yet.
Do you wonder what your life would be like without it? Do you regret ever?
It won't be any better. Well, if anything, I'm very grateful to be part of this organisation. It straightened me up for better.
Henderson raises his eyebrows a little bit.
Not everyone was civilian before.
So, like Tomo, then.
Sort of. He stops at that.
Henderson has no idea.
He has no idea, and they use... Go ahead and roll
Okay. Do. This is not a
Like
child.
your son.
Alright, so 5. Boop. One success. One suck.
A single suck.
One single
Right.
suck for your son.
Oh, I hate that. Wow, you beat him. You catch that by saying that he seems to stop. Like full on just hits a wall. It's not something you see out of Hellings often.
I don't know. Henderson's seen him flustered more than other people have.
This is more than flustered, though. This is a little harrowed. It seems like you genuinely caught him out.
Is everything okay with Tomo? Was that bad memories or subject?
He makes a face like he just tasted something really sour. There's something that happened recently. Sorry, do you hear my computer losing its shit? I hope not.
No.
Okay, good. It's like fans aplenty right now.
Well, my fans are whirring too, so.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure it's not getting picked up. Well, I received some unexpected news recently.
Everything okay?
He shakes his head.
Can I help?
Do you believe in fate, Anderson?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you believe in fate, Henderson?
I did until maybe I found out that the reason I was here was because I was picked instead of us randomly ending up here.
I've never really been a strong believer of it. I think that there's high circumstances, correlation, or fate, the idea that something beyond us picked our path. Stuff like that just seems unrealistic, even compared to everything. And I'm not so sure.
What? He's like kind of legitimately concerned now. He's like, what happened?
Evidently, in the global market, Yokosuke made a deal to get information. Thousand-yard stare. This is between you and I, okay?
Okay.
Turns out, all this information on this father.
Henderson blinks at that and he's like, his dad?
Biologically. Looks at him like, I know, right?
I mean, the Fae could have been messing with him, us, you.
What if they do? What if they do? It's traumatical. Anywhere else, and I would have called it into question.
Wait, how old would that have made you?
18. He puts his face in his hand.
Henderson just takes a moment to absorb this information.
What fucking chances are these,
If you wanted me to say something comforting, it could be that the whole can understand and see supernatural creatures biological, that you're more likely to see family members who can take it and aren't like, you know, the detective.
I don't think I've fallen.
Or, I mean, so if you said some people just can't grok supernatural creatures, right? They see it and they can't comprehend. If that's a biological factor, it means just, you know, running in the circles of people who can see them, you're more likely to have people who are related.
Right.
The other possibility is the people who took him when he was a kid and trained him up and made him a great old soldier for whatever he did, and then now Guardians, making use of that, targeted him because he had connections and they knew about it.
Honestly, that is highly possible. It's mainly just the all of the chances, right? It's that.
Or Audrey picked him.
He goes quiet.
And Henderson is also quiet. You're the one who found him, right?
Okay. He's in the woods.
Sounds about right.
Would make more sense for it.
Like I said, when we first came here, we all thought us showing up at the same time was fate, but it wasn't. It was just...
He shakes his head. Sorry. Seems like one person could mess up so many lives. Sorry, just got me involved in this episode. But no, we're literally.
Don't worry. I mean, that's all in the past now, right? Nothing we can do about it now.
Moving forward, trying to stop saying shit that she was.
You know, initially, how we all figured those of us who met Carlsville monsters were pulled here by her, and the others were just picked, you know, and the others were just opportunistic. So me and Sal picked, and Natalie, you know, random hedge creatures opportunistic, but have been Tomo and now Natalie's connection to Finnegan, and even Theo and I think she could have told that Theo and Bo would get along. Maybe even more of us were picked than we thought.
I don't like the idea that she could have known that much. But I'm sure she knew everything we could, or at least had an idea. If she knew I was going to go, what should that happen that way? Like, she had to have known what Arthur was up to. Right?
And, I've always said this, no one's really taken it seriously, but it's hard to believe she lost Julia in the shuffle. She can move us 10,000 miles across the country, but whoops, your wife got lost in a cave just long enough for you to be too invested to leave by the time you found her. Which, why I wasn't an accountant. I wouldn't have known I was a good choice. Why did she know?
I don't know if she chose the way she did. But it goes against everything Parliament stands for. We do not recruit people who haven't encountered supernatural. We give them an option. I'll give Kendall an option. But he first joined. I have no idea that none of you have been given the same.
Well, Carly did ask me, but with my wife here and Hawthorne in the hospital, that wasn't going anywhere, whether I wanted to or not.
Sure, it's against you. After all this, I'm doing everything I can to try and get your family somewhere safe. There's some divisions that have relatively low activity. Might be able to get you over there.
Henderson nods, like, well, if all of its problems, are solved.
Just got climbed to the top of another bloody anthill.
Well, that's... Statistically, the places that are going to need people are going to have more action than they can handle, right?
Usually, you're going to have all big cities. I'm always looking for other recruitment, or it's either big cities or it's underemployed situations like this. Situations which just got a recent vacancy or another, then you're going to see that more higher ranks or the ones with vacancies are more needed, but you can't promote someone up to the needed position. Would be on the staff ones. Big cities, they have no problem. Your race that dies, move the queen up, move the king up.
Still don't have an ace for us, though.
Just you all are advancing quickly because of the situation. You're doing work that no 2, 3, 4 should be doing.
Well, I'm a 10 now, so...
Deserve it.
Thank you. I don't feel all that much different, and half the time I feel like I'm not really a spade. usually tackling things to the ground and superiors to the ground. Nervous laugh.
He gives a half smile. I'm good at it, that's for sure. You've done some clever things in the past, Anderson. No doubt about that.
Oh,
It was you that started the whole flashlight craze, wasn't it?
Henderson sort of wheezes a laugh, and it's like, ow, that hurts.
Oh, he reaches a hand out like, oh no.
He's like, I think it's more like I stopped the no flashlight insanity.
Oh. Just remember, you're heading out with 3 of them. One each hand, one on chest.
Well, I have one of the headlamps on back order, but with with Vane gone, it's not as important. And now the hedge beasts too. They didn't like light, or no, not the hedge beasts, the mimics.
Well, everything, yeah. Well, we might be seeing the end of a flashlight soon, which will save on a sad, piddly resources pile anyway.
Well,
Speaking of resources, you're 10 now, you said, what?
yeah.
Anyone sat down with you about the income plan?
No. And I haven't been checking my attending to any of my bank accounts or anything since I got my phone revoked for it. Wait, no, he's an 8 now. He's an 8 now, not a 10. Why did I think he was a 10? I thought he was a 9 at least.
Even as a 10, alright, as an 8, so we'll sit down after you get out of the hospital.
Wow, we get paid?
You qualify for benefits after birth. You've always been making income, it's just nothing more than your standard 8 to 5. Now though, you've got decent benefits.
Yes, this is my 3rd hospital stay.
And you're not paying a penny of it.
Yes, and I do have to thank Guardians for paying for Hawthorne too.
Wish you could do more for them.
Well, I hope there's no more instances of obligation.
We'll do what we can to keep you out of it. I do appreciate, I know you weren't happy you ran out, but without his help, we wouldn't have been able to track down the alpha limits.
Henderson nods and is like, yeah, just... It seems that's how it works, right? It hurts a lot that I have to be here. I wish I could just pack up and leave and he could pack up and leave, but at this point, that would be the selfish thing to do, wouldn't it? Take my own life of peace in exchange of even one person I could save, let alone 10 or 20 or however many we've saved since we got here.
That's the lure of it, isn't it? Carly really got under this because of that kind of outlook. For this, for audience, she was just a full stranger.
And still, and theoretically, though that should mean he needs to join too. I can't bring myself that far. Just like you've given your son his life.
Listen, he does want me to join. There's no requirement. He's seen a lot, but he has the same choice as everyone else.
Henderson nods and is like, thanks for thinking of him.
No. Having a kid and being a guardian is one of the most terrifying things you can do. Especially if the kid doesn't know what you do in the daytime or nighttime.
Well, he knows the basics now.
So that makes the hard part. Once the kid knows, it's hard, it's different. You don't want them to get hurt. Honestly, I think it's better that he knows what is out there than not. Because he can know what to stay away from. Hopefully he wasn't up and decides that fighting the things that are in the dark isn't exactly a safe occupation. And it'd save his old man a lot of grey hairs if he did join.
Yeah. I tried to convince him to be a doctor instead if he wanted to save people.
Exactly.
And who knows what he'll think of everything once he sees Julia as she is now. Don't know if that'll scare him away or
Probably not.
make him want to stop all that more.
Stop there. We still have a couple of years. It depends on the division. Some divisions I've brought in, I think the record was 13, maybe a little younger. Or
Jesus Christ.
Wasn't even recruitment, that was youngest someone's ever gone to Ace, I think.
Jesus Christ, and I thought Theo was too young for this.
It's unethical. We try to avoid it, but there's some situations where it's unavoidable. Getting a child who's seen everything, knows what's happening in the dark, and has no family left. What do? You turn them into an orphanage and tell them to pretend that they haven't seen everything. I mean, you could, but we then risk them telling others.
I mean, I can understand taking them in, but becoming an ace implies they were doing things.
For what? No, I don't agree with that one. That's all New York.
Henderson makes a face.
Didn't happen in my division, that's shit. So I think the record for youngest I had in where I come from, in London, was 17. Someone joined. But that was the youngest we've ever had. I'm afraid that does change depending on division, so as I said, some are willing to do that, to bring them in despite how young they are.
Is there a headquarters or something? Because when I first came here, it seemed, we were just a bunch of people trying to do stuff, but it's huge, isn't it?
It's huge. Like that. He makes a face. New York.
Henderson. So it's the boss's bosses who are hiring the 13-year-olds.
Seems so. I know who's going to tell them the story, right? Who knows that? So that's much of what we do is
This Carlsville still feels almost like this little bubble, like a tiny horror movie that once we deal with it, it's done. But there's a whole world out there, and it's just still sort of feels like a dream trying to grasp that this goes further.
not. Carsville is a situation in which the veil has been so battered over the years that we are having to work double time. We've been having to work double time for years to try and combat it. It's like you took a bad infestation of something and doubled it in one area. It's bizarre. We're learning why. Leave it to witches, right? But I think it's just that we're so understaffed that it really is noticeable how bad it is.
Yeah, I just wonder if we, when we first destroyed Vane and her shades, talking about how there was a power vacuum that other creatures would, the territories would shift, and I'm just wondering if it's bailing out a sinking ship, it'll just fill with more water. We should just tell everyone to move away, let the monsters have this chunk of land.
I'm trying. I said, yeah, we're trying to get them to leave. Come up with an excuse. But the problem is that most of the residents of Collegeville are stubborn. You tell them that the soil is polluted and they'll say, well, my soil has been growing fine. Nothing to do with it, even if that's it's a pain in the ass as always. I think we'll be able to hopefully get most of them to evacuate now that we've got care. We've been talking with him and seeing if he can spread a message to his father. And his father's got some of the most traffic in town.
And just thinking about, sorry. How many kids had to die to get to this point?
Too many.
Anderson nods.
It's been almost going on close to a year, since you both joined. I mean, that time, we've lost 3 kids.
Can Henderson roll a memory to know exactly how many missing and or lost townsfolk there are?
Go for it.
Do I get my math specialty?
Yeah, go for it. You never get to use it. I'll give it to you.
2, 4. So you want me to roll, I can do memory or I can do academics? Because technically... Memory? Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Probably knows the general number.
Okay, let's go through here specifically for the number of dead or missing children.
Children, and, throw in adults in there too. They'll do both those figures.
Are you going for dead adults or just missing adults?
Well, dead and or missing counts just because if we haven't found them yet, probably not, in a great spot.
One. Oh, I gotta update. Julia. Oh, wait, they're yellow because they're in a bad situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or no. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Missing or dead people.
And that's not counting Rowan and Natalie and Buddha and Claire and Zip and... That's just Carl's.
I think that was counting Rowan. So...
No, because Rowan, there's Rowan, then Timothy, Lauren, and Brick are all dead.
Right.
So that's 4 children.
Counting Rowan, yes. Brick is not a child.
Oh, that's true.
Brick is a father.
That's right. He's just after all the children. So he was in that chunk of NPCs. Anyways. Anderson goes 13 almost certainly are dead in this past year. Out of population of memory roll. I guess he knows the exact population of Carlsville.
Oh my god. 1 second. 1.
Sorry, Bree. He's doing his math brain.
Memory minus like 12 equals it's like 80.
Well, you can just be an estimate. We'll say 82.
It's like 80, I think, somewhere around there. Considering the fact that there is no technical population, right. It's an unincorporated village.
Right. Anderson says, out of, 80 people? 16% mortality rate in 1 year.
Oh, I've noticed. I've definitely noticed. So I'm having so much problems with.
Yeah, they definitely noticed it. Came with us.
It's becoming a problem. We're trying to get them to leave, but they're so suspicious of us now. They're so aware the reason behind why there's disappearances. You can't just tell them what the issues.
Has anyone ever tried that? Just telling people about the supernatural when it gets this bad? And even if they forget it in 5 days or whatever, if it helps them make the choice.
I don't think that most of the people here, if I'm honest with you, are the type to forget. I think the ones that have caught on to us, it means they remember what's happening and the strange things that are going on. So they're recruitable in a way. They are sensitive. I get the feeling most of the people in town are, because they've all noticed it to varying degrees. But they just pretend they don't see it. It's not like Rayfield. Rayfield, you'll forget it in a couple of minutes. And some of them are. Some of the population we're lucky just dismiss it.
So, if that fails, maybe just tell them.
That's what I've just been thinking. We've been throwing around the idea of offering a position for them. They like their town so much that they can help us. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, guess if we do need a lot less of a division after we get Infinity, then maybe they can have a nice peaceful spot here, but if we can't get Infinity, I say it's still worth laying out in plain words what the risks are.
Problem is, we can't exactly tell them about Infinity.
No, but we can
give them the information we have.
We can tell them about the dangers that have passed and that there are more like them, that there might be more that come to fill the void of power once those are gone. Maybe tell, Arthur has kept a secret all this time and Infinity might switch to another family once we're gone.
Tell them that.
Or by the time this is over, there might be someone who finds out anyways that could have the secret.
The problem comes with this, so we offer them a spot. And we give them the option. You can join us, or you can leave. Usually that works fine, because it's prefaced with, you now have all this secret knowledge, but you can never tell anyone because no one will believe you. But they're all a connected community. Word spreads like wildfire, and they believe each other. It'd be a disaster to confirm to one of them, and they then spread that to everyone else. Our cover is blown then. You see the issue?
I just can't help but think if you could lay it out why it's the place that's the problem. That if they lived somewhere else, their sons and daughters would be alive. That they would move. No town's worth that. I know if I was given the option, say after Rowan died, if someone said if you can move to a new state to protect Hawthorne, I would.
So then maybe we get ways out of here. It's gonna be one family. It's like, I have a good feeling. We might be able to get others out of here, but the others that are involved who are those children, they are going to want to leave. They're going to want to do something about it. Which I suppose in our case is good, because we probably have a lot of recruits. But we're putting the population in danger to do it.
And they've been so safe up until this point.
They've been living in between. They're caught in a crossfire.
The question is whether it's safer for them to be able to act on the information, or whether be ignorant and not be able to know to defend themselves.
Well, how about this thing, Dennis? We give them the option. We try one last time to convince them to leave, and if they don't, we give them the option.
Yeah, well, I guess first let's see if we can get Infinity, huh? Without too many other people dying.
Don't even know we're still in that. I've got no idea where she is, we don't know. And there she is. Could be any one of us, according to this call. And this thread, Infinity, can seem to attack out of everything, doesn't it seem? Dreams, mirrors, just hearing about it makes you in danger. How? It's not physical. And that's what makes it difficult.
Right. Well, that was the problem with Vane, right? Too, right? No physical body, so how do you kill her? Guess Aubrey solved that. I say, knowing there's a Vane session coming up. Aubrey, you dumb bitch.
You can't.
You didn't even solve it.
Only like heaven, bitch. You want help you are?
I mean, heaven. You sure? No, I'm kidding.
Hope you like fire. Yes, that's good. That's who you are.
Henderson
Kind of
nods.
rests. Like he pops one arm on the armrest and just rests his face more.
Thanks for coming to talk to me about this. I mean, I feel like if I'm not actively working on the problem, so it's good to know that I can, that we're talking about solutions. I'm trying to remember. I don't think Henderson was there when they were like, in other divisions, the Spades don't even go out on missions.
I don't recall, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't recall either. I think that was just Danny saying how fucked this division was to Natalie in secret and confidence.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Danny, make time to shit talk the division. Time to shit talk the division.
Danny, I'm a simple woman. I see your division, I gotta shit talk it.
Danny's like, I'm from fucking Milwaukee, and you know how many people get shot a day? Shouldn't be doing this shit. You shouldn't be doing this shit. What the fuck is Spades going outside for?
Put him in front of a radio and a computer. Leave him be.
Yeah, points at Jason. That's correct. Wait, he's not a Spade? What's going on here?
He's a hardest communications.
It's just Cheney.
Well, there's a reason she lost her job.
Regardless, I don't think Henderson did.
No, I don't think so either. So, anyways, that digression over. Henderson will also take a few moments to rest.
There we go. I've got a little empathy on you, Henderson. Sympathy roll's not great, but I'll try.
I mean, Henderson isn't particularly hiding his emotions right now, so just if he gets a success.
A singular success, you said?
Yeah, I mean, if he succeeds his role.
Victory.
Woo!
What is he?
I mean, Henderson meant what he said about he was being driven kind of crazy, not being able to actively help her talk, and he's sort of overwhelmed right now, and that's tiring from him being physically out of it. And I mean, there is probably lingering anxiety, fears, especially about Julia, they haven't really talked about yet, but it's half physical resting, half emotionally.
Physical resting, emotionally exhausting.
Yeah.
Okay. This won't be reward you.
Sorry, what? He opens his
It
eyes.
won't feel right.
Well, I'll just try to grow new skin faster and get back to the thick of things where I can help.
Skin first.
Henderson nods. Don't think I could walk out of the base as I am right now, so... Or walk to the base.
I walk in general. So body, as you said.
Yeah. I don't... My leg's not even fully finished healing from the last time. I mean... slash R1D2. I'm gonna check. And the mimic bit, the same arm. So I'm down for the count.
Thanks so much time as you need. Like, we're using this lull to try and get our bearings. Everything will be there once you come back.
Henderson nods. But if there's any new information or...
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I asked Natalie to bring me some notebooks and stuff to work with and some books, but she hasn't been back yet.
So, I'm sure anything else on your mind.
Sorry, say that again?
So, well, is there anything else on your mind?
Well, there wasn't, but that was kind of an awkward question, and it immediately turned Henderson's brain to the awkwardness.
Like, I'm not a fucking heart. You good?
I mean, no, not unless you wanted to talk about something else.
Well, just check to make sure you don't know. He says, scratching the back of his head.
Both of them immediately like,
Gay panic. It starts to get up, or maybe two.
Okay, yeah, I'll see you when you visit next, or when I get back.
No. If there's any updates, I'll stop by.
Alright.
Alright. Good night. It is.
You too.
Thank you. Sorry.
Kiss him, you coward.
Thank
Aww.
The fucking tone. Kiss him, you coward.
I'm a gremlin for the ship.
Well, here, how about this? He's not psychic. I'll throw out another fucking empathy and see if there's anything that can be picked up, but otherwise...
I mean, Henderson's not thinking, kiss me, you coward, it's me. Well, I'll empathy you back. We'll see if there's an empathetic connection there.
That's not how that one works.
That is now.
You're trying to be Mr. fucking Stoic. I'm gonna resist.
Look there.
He's like, oh, my name's Matthew.
on his empathy.
I see that. Well, first things first, what does Hellings see before I tell you what you see?
I mean, it's the awkwardness of, like, we just had this entire deep conversation and we've completely ignored the elephant that we clearly just both thought of. And he's like, oh no.
We were doing so good.
And so Henderson's a little flustered and a little blushy on the inside, but he probably can't tell or look blushed right now in his condition.
Mm-hmm. Alright, with Hellings, your 4 successes against his piddling 1 success. He's flustered. He was like, I'm an idiot. When I have to phrase it like that, that does not come off as what I wanted to say. Oh man, now everything's really uncomfortable and I just don't want to deal with this right now. This is a lot to face. I'm gonna get up and leave.
Well, Henderson can't stop him.
I feel bad leaving. This is bad. I don't want to go.
So Henderson, that's just, I'm sure, a long, awkward silence.
I'm just Hellings standing, his coat slung over his arm.
Thank you for coming. It's appreciated. Kiss him, you coward. You too.
Kurt nod and turns the door.
And scene.
And scene.
I'm gonna end it.
So you coward.